back to my channel, The Sarthak Show, where we discuss about tech, career, product, and life. And today, MySQL playlist series, we will continue and learn more about the SQL queries. In the last videos, we have discussed about how to insert the values. You can check that out here somewhere. I will put the link. And also how we inserted the data, how we checked the data. But there was one query that I used to just show you guys that is the data that I have run the query and everything has been has inserted into the table or not. So particularly for that, we'll run on that query. So let me just show you. I used a very specific query to show you the data, but today we will learn in very specifically, very depth, how you can query data from a table. So right now, what we have learned so far is how to create a database, create a table in that database, then insert the data into that database. Now the last bit, as in the basics step for the last bit, is to query the data from that table. So for this fourth step, the command that we use is select. Select. Now you have to mention the name of the column name 1, comma, column 2, so and so forth, from again the table name. Again, the table name that you have to mention, and then this is this. This is the query, simple query that we are going to use. So let me just show you and give you an example. I will show that select command, select from students 2, and then I have to mention what I need. So my bad, let me write it again. Select ID, comma, name from students 2. See, from the above table itself, it just showed me these two columns, right? This is how you can query very specific data that I want this column from this table. We're going to understand like if you place some conditions around this or not. So there's a very specific query that we are going to use and that we have used recently is the select star query. When you are not aware of the names of the column, that you have to just write select star. So it will include all the column names and from again table name. Yes. So this is the query that you have to use to show all the data, and that I have used again, but I will just show you again. Select star. This is a very frequently used query, so you don't have to wait to remember this name because you will use it very, very frequently. Students 2. And this. So this is again going to show you all the tables, all the data of that, all the data present in that table in just one single query, right? Let me just give you an example again with the same, with different table. Again, it has just one row, but it is going to show all the data that is present in the table. So yeah, that was the basic part of it. Now let's move forward and understand what are the different things that you can do. So you have learned select star, you have learned specifically asking for select where there are specific columns that you need. Now we are going to go one step further and learn about the very next step where you can put certain conditions or mention some of the scenarios with this. So this is going to be one step further in the depth. We are going to continue learning on this part. But this is where you start writing the queries. So the command for that is select. Let's say we'll keep it very simple. Select star from table name. And we are going to introduce a new keyword where. Now, where is this keyword is just stating like you have to give certain conditions along with this. So the syntax is very simple. You have to understand, you have to give certain scenarios where I want to do a match with this part. So let me give an example. You have to mention column name 1, let's say, and certain conditions over here. So I'm just mentioning this. So here what it can come, ideally you can write equal to, so equal to, greater than, less than, greater than, it's just my okay, you can mention certain other different things, but yeah, this is the whole part of this. Let me just mention this. This will give you better clarity. This, right. So yes, these are the things that you can do, and maybe certain values. So you have to just mention the value over here, value 1. Let me write it, value 1. Yes, and this is the command. So this is not a very complex command, but this can go complex as per your query, how you want to get the data, and accordingly. Let me give you an example and will give you better context of how things are working. So let me write select star from students to, right, where, again, I'm using a very specific keyword where, let me query where score should be equal to, let's say, 50. Now there are technically 2 columns that should come ideally, and let's see what happens. So it results me choose 2 columns where Sarthak Jain and this all the other values, but score is 50, right? So basically this will give you all this information. Let me just copy this again to and show you here sample command that you can write on your terminal. Control V. Yes. So yeah, this is the command. Let me give you another example. Let's me use a different column and different value. So where let's say name equal to, again, since I'm using a string, I have to mention this Sanket. Again, it resulted me only one row where this was happening with the ID 5 and everything. Yes. So this is how you query data from the table. We'll go one step further in the next set of videos where we'll understand what are the various commands that you can use, where you can use multiple set of instructions in one single query. So you have to, let's say, compare where score is 50 and date of birth is 5th April, and so on and so forth. So we'll go one step further in this in the next set of videos. So stay tuned for that. I hope you enjoyed this video and you got to learn a lot of different things. I will see you in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.